Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this workshop on credit analysis and bank statement analysis. In today's workshop, this being the day 2 of the workshop, we will be discussing Python programming for data science. So basically, we'll learn the concepts of Python programming, which will be helpful for analysis of the bank statement and which in general would be helpful in data science and machine learning. Before I move forward, I request everyone to take 30 seconds. Himanshu has shared a poll on the WhatsApp group requesting just one question of whether you got sufficient time and whether you were able to go through the videos which was requested as part of our yesterday's session. So I give you all 30 seconds to respond to that, and then we will get into the Python programming. Okay, let's get started. In the meantime, others will join. Now, before we get into Python, the tool, what we are trying to learn is how to analyze data. Now, frankly speaking, it really does not matter whether the tool that we are going to use is Python, R, SAS, or Scala, or any other data analytics tool. What we have to understand is any data analytics tool that we use should give us a feature to import data from an external source. The external source can be a CSV file, it can be an Excel file, or it can be a database. I should be able to get the data from external source into the tool in the format in which the tool can then process that data. If there is an import, there has to be a corresponding export. The tool should also give a feature that it can export data in a format that the external source can make use of it. Besides that, I require functionality such that I can save the data to hard disk. For example, I'll work today, next day I come back, I want to resume my work from where I stopped. So I need a feature by which I can store all the data to hard disk, and I should be able to load that data from a hard disk. Now, what really differentiates a data analytics tool from a data management tool? For example, database like Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle database, Postgre database, they all provide these import, export, save, load features. At the same time, they provide us all the data manipulation functionalities which a data analytics tool is also providing. It provides you data types. You can define data types like number, integer, string. They have data structures. In databases, it is tables. They provide you functions and programming structures and various features of joining two tables or applying filters, appending data, sorting, renaming columns, aggregating data, and so forth. All these data manipulation functionalities a data management tool has to provide, which a data analytics tool like a Python provides us. Besides that, what additional thing a data analytics tool provides is it provides you many statistical functions, correlation, covariance, hypothesis testing, ANOVA, t-test. Then it provides you machine learning algorithms for classification, regression models, supervised, unsupervised machine learning algorithms. So that is what a data analytics tool provides, which you will not find in a database kind of a tool. So that's where the main differentiation comes. Many people keep thinking, Okay, can I do this work in Oracle also? In Oracle, most of the things you can do, but performing these activities in a Oracle kind of a database will be difficult. And that's where specific analytical tools comes into picture, like SAS, R, Python, and so forth. So this is a quick overview. So you have to always understand, and whenever you work with any tool, you have to just simply think, okay, what does a tool provides me? It provides me an import, it helps me do export, it helps me load data, it helps me save data, some data manipulation activities, and some data analytical functionalities. If you see this with this bigger perspective, then learning any tool will be easy. At this point, once again, I give a reminder that Himanshu has shared a survey where you have to submit the poll whether you have been able to see the day one video and what percentage. In the meantime, if anyone else has any opinion to add on the slide, they are free to add by putting in chat box or by unmuting yourself and speaking. Again, I will give 30 seconds to respond to the poll. So what is the outline for today's session? The outline for today's session is we'll work with Jupyter Notebook, how to use this popular open source Python IDE, and in today's session we'll cover the basics, we'll cover data types, number, strings, boolean, data structures, list, tuple, dictionary, a quick overview of modules and packages in Python, and overview of NumPy and Pandas packages. This is what we will cover in today's 1 hour session. I've tried to link what we have covered. If you have been following and doing the activities, then if you have really seen the videos and done the installation, by now you would have understood how to launch a Jupyter notebook. Today's course outline is data structures, data types, and modules and packages. Data management mind map, the slide which I showed you, import, export, load, save, data management functionalities, data analytics functionalities, is a mind map kind of a structure which I have already discussed. So today's course outline is Python basics and data structures, modules and packages. Okay, with that, I'll get into my Jupyter notebook. I request all of you to launch your Jupyter notebook. The way the way to launch a Jupyter notebook is you have to launch Anaconda prompt, something like this, and you can simply type Jupyter notebook, or the way I prefer to do it, I prefer to navigate to the folder where I typically store all my work. For example, for the training, you would have created a folder in your D drive saying workshop. So in that case, you should go to your, say it's in D drive, you should go to your D drive. In this case, I'll go to my PyScripts because that's where all my code is there. But you should navigate to the folder where you have all your work. So I'll navigate it to that place. And this is a specific command, this is a, and then I'll say Jupyter notebook and enter. This will launch Jupyter notebook in a browser, whatever is your chosen preferred browser. Yeah. I'll wait 30 seconds for all of you to launch the Jupyter notebook. Once you are done, if you have already done, then kindly put in the chat box. Done. The folder from where I launched it, it shows all the files which are present in that folder. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take a new Python 3. So here there is a new drop down. We'll select that and say Python 3. A blank untitled Jupyter notebook file is opened up. The extension of a Python file is .py. I've typed it here. I'm repeating, the extension of a Python file is .py. However, Jupyter Notebook provides you a very easy to use interface, and the extension of those files is IPYNB. It is called I Internet Py Python NB Notebook. So the extension of a Jupyter Notebook file is .ipynb. This is just for your information. Okay. So first thing what we'll do is the file name is untitled. So I click on the untitled. I give some name. Workshop Day 2. Rename. The file will get created in the folder from where I have launched the Jupyter Notebook. In this case, I launched it from the folder. In that folder, if you see, this file has got created. So here is the file. All of you create a new Python file in Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Now there is an importance of this cell highlighting. When the cell highlight is in blue, it means it is not in a edit mode. And if I press enter, the cell highlight goes in green. It means it is in edit mode. So I can type. If I press escape, I'm pressing the escape button on my laptop, it turns blue. So we will have the cell in the mode blue, and I press the character H. H is for help. It gives you all the shortcuts to easily use Jupyter Notebook. Whenever you work with any tool, the environment, you should be understanding the features of the tool. And the first feature is how to use the tool. So once again, I'm coming back. Here my cell is in blue color. I press H and it gives me help. So this is what basic things it shows me. So what we'll do is we'll quickly see some basic help items. If I press the character B, it will insert a cell below. If I press enter, it goes to green, A equal to 10. I press shift enter, it means execute the code. If a code is executed, you see it says that this is the first execution. I press escape, I press the character A, it inserts a cell above. For today's session, this much of help is sufficient. More help, the video is already shared, so you can go through that in the video. Yeah. All of you, have you launched and opened a new workshop, a new IPython notebook? And are you comfortable till this point? Okay, so let's move forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a file which I already prepared.
Hi, Rajesh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
I'm just clicking that, it is giving name error. Like just work shop date to dot ip and py and nb. I'm entering and name is not defined. Name error. It is giving me.
So when you click that, you're typing this and you're typing workshop day 2. Okay.
Mm,
Uh, so basically
yeah.
it should not give a, okay.
Should I give the extension dot
No,
ipynb?
you no extension, no extension. I just
Oh,
you
okay, okay, fine.
just give the name. Okay. 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 So let's quickly come to the main agenda. We have now got comfortable with usage of this file, Jupyter Notebook. So I come in the full screen mode. All of these things are done through markdowns. Okay, we'll cover the markdowns quickly, but some of the data types what we have to cover quickly as part of today's session is numbers, strings, and booleans. And some of the data structures that we will cover is list, tuples, and dictionaries. Okay, I'm assuming you have already gone through the video. This will help me do the things better. So shift enter, I move to the next cell. What I'll do is I'll just insert one cell above. It is in blue color. I'll quickly explain the concept of markdown. When the cell is in blue, I press the character M and then press enter, and here I say hash level 1, enter, hash hash level 2, hash 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 level 3, hash hash hash. There are 6 levels. So I'm just running 3 levels. So this is where markdowns are useful. Markdowns are used for documentation purpose. Okay. So let's move forward. Numbers. Any tool has got basic data types: numbers, strings, uh, date, boolean. So let's quickly see numbers. There are different types. I just type one. It is an integer type. When I have decimal, it is a float type, and when it's J, it's complex numbers. So how do I know the type? The type I can know is here. I say a equal to 1. I am creating a variable a, assigning the value 1. B is equal to 2.0. C is equal to 1j. And I say type. Type is a function which will say what is the type of the variable, data type of the variable. So all of you are requested to run this part of the syntax. A equal to 1, B equal to 2.0, C equal to 1j. Okay. All of you kindly execute this. So what we are learning, the numbers and its type, which I'm sure most of you would be knowing. But still, in Python, we'll just quickly see that. And it says A is of type integer, B is of type float, and C is of type complex. Okay, fantastic. We have got A equal to this one, and C is 1j, and it is not h. There is no I and there is no k here. We have only j. Okay, we now come to strings. Now there are 3 types of strings. One is I can use string with a single quote, or I can use string with a double quote. So long as string is in a one line, you can use single quote or double quote. Does not make a difference. So here I say hello Python and shift enter. The way to run the syntax is shift enter. And here I have he who last did not get the joke. Again shift enter, it executes that. However, if your string runs in multiple lines, which means here there is an enter mark. When I run the syntax, there is an enter here. It's not auto word wrap. Okay, there is an enter. If my string is written in multiple lines, I have to use 3 single quotes and 3 single quotes at the closing side, or I can use 3 double quotes and 3 closing double quotes. Either of the option is okay. Single quote and double quote does not make a difference, but if your statement is running in multiple lines, you have to use 3 single and 3 double. So this is on strings. And here a very basic syntax. I create a string a equal to string manipulation, and then I say a rectangular bracket 0. It says give me the 0th index position value. Important point, indexing in Python starts from 0. For example, if I have got 10 rows in my table, the first row index number will be 0. This is what I am meaning by the statement indexing in Python starts from 0. Indexing does not start from 1. Okay, I'll give some time to run these syntax, and it is not necessary that you write the entire syntax. You write lengthy syntax. You can write a short syntax. Booleans. In any programming language, you have got true and false. Basically, true means something which is yes, false means something which is no. And also, in programming, you have to understand that 1 is used to represent true, 0 is an indicator of false. So, true is a keyword. If you see TRUE, it's a keyword. Okay. False is a keyword. Bool 1, if I say bool is a function, I say 1, it will say true, because in programming 1 means true and bool 0 means false. The thing is, in programming, any number other than 0 is true. Just for everyone's knowledge, in programming, any number other than 0 is considered true. So even if I put here bool of 10, it will say true. Only for bool of 0, it is going to say me false. So quickly try this booleans. Resuming. Once again, I will let you know that it's a workshop, so we'll be going at a faster pace. Now I have to come to data structures. What is the difference between a data type and a data structure? Data types is basically the foundation elements. For example, I say I is equal to 10. 10 is only one value. I say s equal to hello Python. I create a string hello Python. But when I have to store many values together in a structured format, that is called a data structure. And the various data structures which Python supports are list, tuple, set, dictionary, and then we have got data frame, series. Data frame and series will come in pandas, and then we have got one dimension array, 2 dimension array, n dimension array. Those will come in our numpy. So let us quickly see list, a sequence of values. I just have no value, it's an empty list. Note the usage of rectangular bracket. Here I've got a sequence of value 1, 2, 3. I have stored three values together in a object. In Python, anything you create in the background gets created as an object. So when I say my list is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 gets stored as an object, and the variable my list is pointing towards that object. I can add values or I can remove values from a list. Because I can add values or I can remove values from a list, list is a mutable object. There is a concept in Python which is called mutable and immutable, unmutable objects. And here what I want to say is list is a mutable object. I can change the list. I can add, delete values from a list. So here when I say my list, I've got my list having three values and I want to display what is the value. I say my underscore list. It shows me 1, 2, 3. I call my list dot append and then I display the value. It shows 1, 2, 3, 8. Just try the cells which I have put in highlight 18, 19, 20, 21. In the meantime, if anyone has got query, you can ask. How to access the values? Once again, indexing is there. I say my list 1 colon 3. Now here, this is like, I'll put hash. Hash is for comment. Start index colon end index. Now here you may feel that I want the first value, second value and third value. You have to again remember in Python, indexing starts from 0. So here when I say 1 colon 3, 1 means the second position value, not the first position. Okay. So when I say 1 colon 3, the second element that you have to understand is end index is not inclusive. End index in Python is not inclusive, which means when I say 1 colon 3, it will be this and this value. The third element is 100. I have here replaced the third element by 100. The third element 100 will not get displayed. So when I run this, I'll only have 2 and 3. Muskan, you cannot put a value in between. You can. So there is a question Muskan is asking that I've got 5 elements and then between 5 elements in middle, I have to insert a value. You cannot insert a value in between. You can basically change the middle value, or you will have to break the list and then again create a new list. Okay. I hope the start index and end index is understood, because these are some things which will be required later. All of you understood? Can you say it again? Okay. So here, Paramita, here you see I've given start index and end index. So here when I say 1 colon 3, please understand indexing in Python starts from 0. So 0th position value is 1. The first position value is 2. The second position value is 3. And the third position value is 100. Okay. Okay. So Paramita, what Muskan had asked was, can I change the value? Can I insert a value between 1, 2 and 3 and 100? I cannot insert a value in between. I can change the middle values. Okay. And if in case I really want to insert a value in between 1, 2, and 3 and 100, I'll have to break the list into two sublists and then insert a value in between and again combine all of them. Yeah, I hope the questions are answered. Okay. So there are many list manipulation functions, but the main point here that I wanted to say was lists are mutable. You can change the values. Now I'm coming to a very related data structure which is called tuple. The difference between a list and a tuple is list is mutable, but tuple is not mutable. Okay. So let's just create a tuple. I'm going to create the tuple with this syntax. T is equal to A, B, C, D, E. Here you note I'm using a round bracket. The moment I make it rectangle bracket, it will become a list. But if I use round brackets, it becomes a tuple. So here I say T is equal to A, B, C, D. I just press the character above A, enter, type T, shift enter. It says tuple. So run the syntax which are there in the cell 37 and 38. You do not have an append function for tuple. You cannot now make changes to a tuple. Okay, that's why tuple is called immutable. We cannot change a tuple once it is created. I hope you have done with the tuple also. Okay, so there are not much to go in a tuple. Yeah, tuple works same as in a list, as in kind of positioning. For example, the syntax which I have written here, this one, I'll just type one more syntax, T, and I say 0. So it will say A. If I say 4, if I say 4, what will the value it will display? If I say T rectangular bracket 4, what
E,
E?
E,
E, yes, because indexing starts from 0. This is 0th position, this is first position, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. So it is going to show me E. So the indexing remains same. The referencing of elements of a tuple is very much similar to a list. Only difference is a tuple cannot be muted. Where a list is used, where a tuple is used. For example, if you are running a loop, and you want that in the loop, once a tuple is created, it should not be modified. If a data structure that you are creating is such that it cannot be modified once created, you have to use a tuple. Okay. But if you want a data structure which is changeable, where you can modify it, then you will have to use something called as list. Then there is another data structure, and any application of list and tuple. Just now I mentioned that typically these are both iterables. We use the term iterable because you can iterate through each and every element in a loop. For example, I can iterate through each and every element of a list or a tuple in a for loop. Okay, so they are called iterables. Only thing is, when you require mutable, immutable, you have to understand that difference and then accordingly use it. Now there is another data structure which is called as key value pair. In a key value pair, you have a key and a corresponding value that is called a dictionary. Note the usage of curly braces. So what we have learned so far, the usage is, the brackets that we have used so far is, we used rectangular bracket for list. We used round bracket for tuple. Okay. Now I am using curly braces. Curly brace is for dictionary. In a dictionary, what you can have is key and a value. So here, what I'm doing is I'm creating a dictionary. Dictionary is like your telephone directory. Earlier we had, but nowadays the telephone directory and yellow pages have become obsolete, where there would be a name of the person and the phone number. Name of the person and phone number. Those telephone directories have now become obsolete. Yellow pages have become obsolete. So what I'm creating is, I'm creating a dictionary where I'm opening it with a curly brace, closing it with a curly brace. I say Maharashtra state capital and union territory capital, state capital, like this. And when I have this, now what I can do is, this becomes my key. So I can now access the values using the key. So I say D and I want the value of Goa. It says Panji. So whenever you want to access values based on key value format, if you have to store something as a key value and then access the values using the key, then you have to use a dictionary. The other equivalent of a dictionary, if those who are from programming background, then I would say JSON. In JSON, the data is stored in a key value format. So that would be an equivalent for that, the dictionary. So try executing syntax 41, 42, and 43. The beauty of IPython notebook is, once you have done your entire work with Markdown and documentation, you can come here and you can say download as PDF, and this entire thing will get downloaded as a PDF, depending upon whether the necessary packages are all available. File download as HTML. This entire thing will get downloaded as a HTML file, and then I can probably send it to my client. Client can quickly open that in a browser. The same thing will be visible to client in a browser with all the outcomes, but the client need not have the data file. The client need not run a single line of syntax. So here, if I open this file, so if the client has that, entire thing will be available to client in this format. And if I would have installed the right package, I could have exported to PDF and then shared it with the client also. So entire documentation of my work along with the outcome can be done here.
Okay, so about my main problem was that the problem of print, giving the print command explicitly and just typing D. Like in this IPython, we have shell-like structure
It's,
where we can
it,
execute each cell.
even if you use other interface Spider, the other popular environment in which
Yes,
people
sir.
work, Spider, you just simply type D, it will give the outcome.
But no. My question was that like this is IPython scripts, right? But
No,
in
no, no,
normal
no, no.
.py scripts,
No, this syntax will work exactly the same in Spider. I can take this and run in Spider. The other beauty of IPython is the entire thing you can download as a Py file also. It gives you an option to download the entire thing as a .py file. Let me just minimize my the screen. So here when you say download as, sorry, once again, file download as, it gives you a Py file also. It works, the syntaxes are no different. The same syntax works in Python also in .py Spider environment.
Sir, so but does that mean
We'll
that
we'll
just
take that
writing the
offline.
dict?
We'll take that offline
Okay,
probably, because
all right.
for me the answer is clear that it works. The same
Okay,
syntax works. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Okay. So we have worked in. We have seen that three main data types. So let me just quickly. We are running short of time. What we have also to cover is modules and packages. So let's quickly extend the session for 10 minutes. Modules and packages. Now, what is the most important thing in modules and packages is any Python file, .py file you create, any .py file if you create is actually a module. And in case you have many .py file which are put together in a structured folder format, then it becomes a package. The other way to explain is I have got a particular task. To do that task, I have written the entire logic in one Python file. In that case, that single Python file is a module. However, if I have got a task which I have broken into multiple subtasks, and those subtasks I have written in separate Python files, and all of those Python files I have put together in a structured folder, that folder becomes my package. So, for example, a detailed video on modules and packages and explaining the packages is already been shared. For example, if I just write, imagine I just write these 3 lines. I open a notepad and just write these 3 lines and save that by some name, addition.py. Here what I am doing is I'm creating a function add. Def is a Python syntax to create a function, and the name of the function which I am giving is add, and here I am taking 2 parameters. Inside the function, what I am doing, I am adding the value a plus b and then returning whatever is the result. Assume I have created a file addition.py having this, which I have already in my machine. You can probably try later. And then how do you work with modules and packages is what I am trying to explain. To get the functionality in that module, you have to run a syntax saying import and then the name of the Python file. So here I say import addition. The moment I run that py file and the entire functionality present in that py file is now available. In that py file, what I have is simple a function add. So I say addition dot add because I'm calling the add function from the module addition. So I'm saying addition dot add. It will give me 5. Okay. This is just how to create my own module, but the most of the time we are not going to create these modules. We are going to use existing packages and existing modules. A module is a package, but a package is not a module. I repeat the statement. A module is a package, but a package is not a module. Why? A package can have only one Python file, and if it is only one Python file, we call it as a module. A package can have multiple modules. In that case, it is a package. Okay. The important thing that has to be covered here is what are the different ways of importing, and there are 4 different ways of importing. I've got a module math. The one way is I can write import math. So everyone kindly type that import math. In that case, I am loading the entire math package, the math module. We will use the term package. As I said, a module is a package. In general, we always use the term package. So I say import math. The entire math package is now loaded. I run sqrt25. It says that sqrt is not defined, but sqrt is a function which is there in math. So I'll have to say math.sqrt, and then the sqrt function is available. So kindly run the syntax import math and math.square root. In the meantime, let me increase the font size once again. Yeah. Kindly execute these two syntax, import math and math.square root. Done. Thanks. This import math package may have 50 functions or it may have 100 functions. If you are really not interested, Muskan, I'll cover that after the session. I'll wait so that your question is answered. Okay. In a math package, probably there may be 50 functions, but I'm not interested in all the 50 functions. Then unwantedly, why should I load the entire package? I am probably interested only in one function, which is square root. So the other way of writing is from math. When I say from math, I'm saying from the math package, import square root, only get the square root function. Now, if I write a syntax like this, and now I call square root, you can open the documentation. We'll see that help later. There is a help way to find out. So I can say square root 25. Now this time I do not have to prefix math. Make sense? So try the second format, from math import square root, and this time you can use square root function directly. Now sometimes what will happen is the way I insert a cell, I repeat, I press escape, I am in blue mode, I then press B below. Sometimes what may happen is, assume this function actually was square root, but the name of that square root was something like this. The function name was something like this. In that case, writing a longish function name may become difficult, right? So in that case, there is another way you can write the syntax. You can say from math import square root as S. I'm just abbreviating that. So what I'm saying, from the math package, you import the square root function, but you rename the square root package, square root function as S. So if I run the syntax like this, now if I say S of 25, it will do the same thing as square root. So try this one also. Once you're done, let me know. Okay. Now we come to the fourth format of writing syntax. Sometimes I may want the entire module. Sometimes I may want the entire module. So I may write from math. Sorry, not from. I want the entire module. I say import math. But the package name is say longish. Math is say mathematics. I'm just saying that the package name is longish, but I don't want to keep using this package name longish. So I can write import math as M. I give it a abbreviation. Now I can write M dot square root 25. It still works. So basically, we have different ways of writing the syntax, different ways of importing. Import math, from package import a function, from package import a function and give it an abbreviation, or import a package and give abbreviation to that package. These are the four different ways of writing how to import a package. Just quickly try it out. Okay, great. So we have almost done. So we have discussed the basic data structures, basic data types. We have understood modules and package, lots of modules together, and those what we will see, those are the important packages, which is like a stats model and scikit-learn. These are libraries which gives all the machine learning functionalities. If you go through this video, modules and packages using scikit-learn, I explained in detail the package and module. So those who have not watched it, I request you to watch it. I wanted to get into pandas and numpy, but we are running short of time. I expect all of you to cover these videos before our tomorrow's session. Okay, quickly you should run through numpy, pandas, import. This would be hardly 4 or 5 hours video, but a quick look at the video will help you understand many of the things. Okay, now those who want to disconnect, probably you may disconnect. In tomorrow's session we are going to complete some of the remaining stuff like pandas and numpy. Those who do not have any questions can disconnect. Those who have some questions, I will be hanging around to answer those queries. Any other questions? Okay, Muskan, how to create our own module? So Muskan, let's get our own module created. Yeah, we will launch Spider. You have Spider with you, Muskan? I'm just starting Spider in my machine. Okay, so what we have done is we have launched Spider, And in Spider, I've written a very simple function. And for everyone's understanding, this time what I'll do, I'll rename the function as add2. Okay. So I'm giving the function name as add2, which takes two parameters a and b, and it does basically addition only and returns back the result. So these three lines, and in Python, it is very important that you have indentation. Here the colon says the function logic is starting after the colon, and the indentation says that this syntax and this syntax is part of the function which we have named as add2. So all of you who are interested in understanding this, open your Spider, write these three lines of syntax, okay, and let me know once you're done. We need to save this by giving some file name and in some folder. I'm going to save this file in the folder from where I launched my Jupyter notebook. When I launched Jupyter notebook on Anaconda prompt, I navigated to a particular folder, and in that folder, I'm going to save this file. So I navigate to that folder path and I give it name addition 2, and it's a .py. Extension will be .py. Okay, I save it. So I have created a Python file, and the file name is addition2.py. Any Python file is actually a module. So I now go to my Jupyter notebook. In Jupyter notebook, I'll call the file, because I think so I gave it as a addition as capital. I will call it as addition2 import addition2. The syntax executed because I gave the file name as addition2. Now in addition to the function, we have created a function add2. I did not create the function add. I created the function add2. If I run the function add, it will give me error. It says there's no module. The module addition2, you can see the name module. It says that it has automatically become a module. It says that module does not have. If I run this like this, I get the outcome. I can write now the syntax from addition to import, because I know there is a function add to as a. If I call the syntax like this, I'm saying from the module addition to import the function add to. Anyways, there is only one function as a. Shift enter, and now I say it a 2,3. I get the output 5. So Muskan, I hope you understood that a .py file automatically becomes a module. If you have many such py files put together in a structured format, in that case you get a package. I'll just show the package structure. This is how a package structure looks like. Yeah, but we'll not get into creation of packages. It's what is important is we have to understand the concept for the workshop. Those things are more important. Coming back, any questions?
So I can't import the addition file. Like I saved it in my desktop as addition.py, and now I'm trying to import addition, but it's
Yeah.
showing an error saying no module named addition.
Yes, Amisha. The folder from where you launched your Jupyter notebook and desktop, those are two different folder paths. So you should have saved the file in the folder from where you launched your Jupyter Notebook. Either that you have to do that thing, or you have to set the sys path. If you save it in any folder, in that case, you have to run import sys and then do path setting. You have to do sys.path.append, and here you have to first give the desktop folder where you have saved the addition file. Only then import addition will work, because without setting the path, Python will not know from which folder of your laptop or a desktop it should be getting the addition file. So path setting is important, and that's where I had said I am saving the file in the folder from where I launched my Jupyter Notebook. In that case, I do not have to do any path setting. I hope the question is answered. Any further questions? If there are no further questions, you may drop. I'll wait for another 1 minute for questions. If there are no questions, then I will also disconnect. Thanks everyone. As there are no further questions, I will disconnect. Thank you. See you tomorrow, same time. Till then, bye bye.